Welcome to the Lucky 13 podcast, where we talk about all things people in profit and business. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Lantz.
And I'm Josh Hauser, and we have special guest, Mike.
You know what? First off, I got to say, we need to make sure that nobody under the age of 18 is listening today, because this could get weird. Like, I walked in this office 10 minutes ago, and my mind is blown. First off, Unger, come here. Come here.
Look.
Stand right here.
Aww.
I walk in, and here are three grown-ass men dressed the exact same way. That's true. Right? And didn't even plan it.
Nope.
So there's that. And then it went off the rails from there. So who knows what's going to happen.
And so then I invited Jeff. This is Jeff Neidlinger. By the way, congratulations on your cousin making the Indy 11 squad.
Hello.
I saw that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
thank
cool.
you. It's
That's really
exciting.
cool. Pretty cool. He runs all the events for us here. He is all things events and masters. But we started off today. You walked into weirdness because we were having an argument. So let's deal with the argument and then let's move forward.
Okay. Well, it is October, okay? And we got Halloween coming up. So then the argument was all about Halloween candy, but real specific around what kind of Reese Halloween candy is the best.
Let's take sides.
So,
Are you a regular Reese person or are you a Reese cup person of shapes?
I like it's all about the shapes, and this is such an obvious answer. I don't even know why we're having this. Anybody at home who is listening to this will know this answer, because let's just do the unwrap. So you unwrap yours and take a bite, and I'll unwrap mine and take a bite.
No doubt, a little more effort on his part.
Why? Hold on. You're not taking a bite. Stop. Are you taking a bite yet?
No.
Why?
Because I have to unwrap it twice.
Oh, do I have to unwrap mine twice? Whether it's the Easter egg, the Christmas tree, or the pumpkin, I'm into bite mode, and you have to take off the brown toxic paper.
And so for those who are not watching, we're talking about one that's a shape with no wrapper in it and one with a wrapper, which I personally like the wrapper, and I'm not talking about like wrappers. I'm talking about, because here's what I like. When you bite in, there's a little crunch.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And I like that crunch.
Somebody's not getting a matching shirt.
It's all right.
It's white chocolate.
I go my own way.
So the answer is simple. You get the ones with the shapes because they unpeel to mouth. When you have to open and then unwrap again, I mean, look, that's just too much time.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of time.
What's your favorite?
Add up, when you eat as many of these as I do in a lifetime, we're talking about hours of second unwrapping. Just me?
It's fair.
Thank you,
What's
Reese,
your
for the
favorite
shapes.
Halloween candy?
Oh, it's Reese.
Reese?
No doubt. Yeah.
Halloween candy?
I'm kind of on a payday kick. Isn't that ironic? All things profit and people, and I like paydays.
Paydays.
There it is. I'm having a drink too.
Yeah.
Sorry, that little peanut butter taught not there.
See, I told you this was going off the rails quick. So why don't
My tongue talked to my teeth.
are you going to eat the rest of that?
I was only instructed to take one bite. So
Oh, okay.
you got it.
There he goes.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, tee it up.
No, we're in. Peanut butter's so good. We're in that part of the year, and maybe even thinking about next year, where it's event time. You're trying to create experiences. Yep. So first, give us just like a 2-minute or less background of all the things you've done and all the things you've been around, and then talk about how you're bringing that experience to different companies around the city of Indianapolis.
Perfect. The most recent thing I haven't done is eat an entire Reese cup because he just ate the rest of it.
Wah.
Yeah. I grew up playing sports for as long as I could live, as long as I could know.
Were you
College soccer. It was okay.
Oh,
Team
you went to
captain.
college soccer.
The whole thing.
Where'd you go to
I was
school?
University of Southern Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Go Screagles.
He was a goalie. He wore the Mickey Mouse hands.
Nice.
I did do that. I caught everything. It was great. And then was fortunate enough to go work in professional hockey for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Ended up in the Los Angeles Kings doing a lot of stuff with the game presentation operations. And just having a lot of fun, kid from the Midwest, being able to run around Los Angeles and know everybody and make some fun decisions and make a bunch of fun parties. It was pretty much a dream come true.
Explains the hair. Keep going.
Yeah, totally. Didn't learn how to surf, but got all the hair. Ended up moving back here to the vice president of operations for the Indy Fuel. COVID hit, the sports world shuts down. I was able to find a way to pivot and keep the event stream alive. So found my way over here to invest and have been able to throw, a handful of pretty great parties. In the last couple of weeks, we've had a bunch of great parties. So anything from golf outings to bowling events to, your random in-office activity. So it's been a lot of fun.
So I brought you in, and Mike and I talk about this because I know True U events are they're legendary. Everybody goes. They're always max capacity. They always have high attention, high value. And I know you try to create, at the same token, not just the value, but you try to create an experience with that. And so think about small business owners listening to this right now. They're thinking, okay, what can I do to have some sort of Christmas impact or start of the year impact? What are some event ideas that you would throw out, things to think about that could be maybe either low cost or high experience or a combination of both?
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on who the business owner is, what's your target market, who's your audience, what are things that they like to do. Sometimes you have to meet people where they are. We have some clients who love to play golf, and we have other clients who hate going outside. So we have to find the right mix of events for everybody. So we'll invite some clients to a golf outing where we get to host. And then we invite other people to like a wine tasting or bourbon tasting event that really gets the nail home. Again, kind of meeting them where they are. We've seen a lot of great success this past two weeks ago. One of our advisors, Eddie Gill, hosted an outstanding wine event. He flew in like a sommelier. We had a big...
What is that?
Sommelier. I can't spell it. But
Okay.
They sound fancy.
They're famous. They're the wine gurus.
The winers.
I thought he looked up a word or watched Jeopardy last night or something.
No, Geoffrey. So, it's tough.
Yeah.
No, it's tough. I think, you just have to meet people where they are. So we were able to host 30 of our clients and friends here for an outstanding, super intimate, type of wine tasting event. And that was great. Eddie's seen, 4 or 5 other clients come out of that, which is exciting. So I would just challenge everybody who's a business owner to go meet people where they are, find out who's doing what do they like. It's not always about what you want, but how can you impact the people that sit across from you that, at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want
Mike,
people to sit across from you.
How does your events, I mean, they're just so highly attended. It's almost like a wait list. Tell me how that's come about and how that's, because it's not just clients. It's like, I don't know if I want to be a client, but I want to be in this network. Walk some of the things you've done on that side.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is just creating this anticipation also of what the events are. I like what you're saying. Meet people where they are. We're always asking our members, always asking our clients, what do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Who are the people you want to hear from? And then finding those people to come in and speak, because we know that I almost find that their time is more valuable than their actual money. We don't get that much pushback around, I don't want to be a member of TrueU or something like that because of the financial piece. It might be because how much time do I need to invest in it? So we see it as a huge responsibility to make sure that the curriculum and the content that we're presenting at that is highly valuable to them. If we're asking CEOs to come and spend a couple hours with us once a month. So that's a big piece of it. And then we also, I think community is so important. Like when those people came in to meet with Eddie and the sommelier,
Yeah.
I don't drink wine.
Small.
Sommelier.
Small.
They're also probably seeing a lot of value in spending the time with the other people that were invited, right? And learning from them and creating connections and things like that. So I think those are really important. I have a question for you though. So what do you say? Like our podcast is all about people and profit, and there's a fair amount of potential CFOs listening to this that goes, wait a minute, that actually works against me making profit because there's cost involved. I like to call them the CF knows.
Ooh.
And so how do you talk to me about how you think about justifying some of those things, whether that's here or in your past career?
A couple things. One, I think it's really hard to make money without spending a little bit of money up front.
Yep.
I think, especially here at Invest, we love the fact that we are able to provide experiences that may or may not be provided to you elsewhere. And so I think from a CFO standpoint, knowing the fact that we are able to gift somebody an experience potentially of a lifetime, potentially of a Super Bowl raffle or a wine tasting, you're giving them an experience that hasn't necessarily been offered to them before, gives them more of an opportunity to come back to us after the fact. Hey, I remember these guys, they hooked us up with this X, Y, or Z. I had an amazing experience at this golf outing. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just flew us to the Super Bowl because we won the raffle. They're going to tell 10 or 12 people how amazing we are versus if we don't spend that money, you never know.
Yeah.
And I love, you said the word spend, but I would argue it's an investment in those things.
Oh,
so I
100%.
think about
100%.
and there's some word association that you were saying there. So when I think of network, somebody just asked me, I want to network my new company, blah, 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 where do I go? And so when I said networking, it's like if you say fast food, I think McDonald's. You say networking, I think TrueU immediately. And so you're starting to tie your name to something else. What I heard you say is what you should think about doing is tying your brand to experiences that people, when that experience comes up, automatically says, oh, yeah, I've actually gone through that with then
X.
XYZ company.
That's
okay,
right.
got it.
Yeah, I think that's important. So let's flip to experiences for employees, like in building culture. And I know you guys have done a lot of that with your employees here at Invest. So talk more about that.
Oh wow, we do quite a few, but every January we do an annual planning meeting where everybody comes in, New Jersey office, Tampa office, anybody in between, fly here to the home base in Indianapolis, and we host 2.5 or a 3-day rally, if you will. Everybody kind of comes together, and this past year it was all about collaboration. So basically, we themed it very fitting for today's a Halloween candy of Skittles, right? So we had signed each little cohort had their own color. And then it was their job to dress somewhat together. We had Prince Purple Rain.
We did.
We had Top Gun, the green Skittles.
They were actually jumpsuits.
It was outstanding.
They were airmen jumpsuits, which made bathroom breaks longer.
Yeah, much longer. The yellow Skittle is actually a golden Skittle.
It is. It's a golden jacket.
And I believe it's a golden dragon.
Golden
is
dragon.
the name
Correct.
of the Skittle. So they went the other direction.
Did you know that was the yellow Skittles called the Golden Dragon?
I didn't know that the Skittles had names.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they
had
do.
names.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day when I come over here.
Right.
You got to have a Cliff Clavin in your office. Just sit down up to the bar and he'll come up and give you random facts.
Got it.
That's
Fair.
Okay.
And the other team we had was just a regular red team, and they just were very boring. But they all bought the. They were. It was still boring.
Yeah.
But they all wore.
They should have worn all Indiana
Skittles.
University football gear because we are 6-0.
Well, they
That
did
is
get
true.
last. Oh no, my bad. That is
yeah, that was
Indiana
last
is
year.
playing well.
IU is
That
6-0. They
Yeah,
look
they
good.
are. They do look good.
So we were able to do that, and everybody bought in. It was super fun. We kept everybody with points. If you win, you got X amount of points. If you lost, you got no points. But it was a lot of fun. We made it competitive. There was something for everybody. We blindfolded folks and made them do a minefield and listen to each other. Just a ton of collaborative efforts. Went down to Chef JJ's downtown.
Oh, yeah, great place.
Everybody was cooking with each other. And it was just a blast. We worked on a couple different things here, some vision boards and stuff like that, where everybody's kind of rowing their boat in the same direction this year. And the big key for us through 2024 was to collaborate. So I think we've done a pretty great job of doing that so far.
I think what's so important, I mean, COVID still exists, right? But it's over. Like, people aren't scared of going to the office and stuff for that. But the horse is out of the barn letting people work remotely. And I think it's more and more important that we curate specific events to bring people back together. Because I'll have this argument with anybody who wants to have it. So call me up and we can have it. The bottom line is you cannot be as connected with your team through a Zoom camera, through a computer camera, than you can be face-to-face. I'm not saying that everybody should bring all of their employees back, but they have to have opportunities to bring people together and to learn how to collaborate and get to know each other better and just hang out and have a cocktail and
Oh my gosh.
spend time together. That's so important.
One of the and we've talked about this a little bit, but Jeff's really been the orchestra or the conductor of getting the orchestra of the quarterly community events, where once a quarter we get together and really there's a little bit of structure planning to it, and a lot of it is just see what it's like to be in a room together. So, give you an example. Last Sunday, Jeff helped us. We all went to New Jersey we all went to the same conference together. So we chose to go to a conference together, and then this group got there early on Sunday and had no plans, and had to kick them into the hotel and tell them to go to bed because with no plans, with a group of people who don't get to see each other all the time, it was amazing to watch that culture just fester. Yeah. And so part of the event planning is just creating opportunities.
Correct.
Yeah. Back to one of the things that I made a note of, back to this CF No, right? And I think what's really important is that whoever's running these events or holding these events, that they really have a good handle on how to do attribution to new business. Because for the example you gave of something that Eddie did last week, if he got 3 or 4 new clients out of it, it's going to be really easy for them to determine what the return on investment was of that. And same with, I think, internal events too, because if you're having turnover and you're having people that are leaving your organization because of lack of culture or lack of relationships, there's so much data out there that shows that people will work at a place where they have a best friend. Correct. Or a really good friend. Well, how do you curate good friendships if people aren't spending time together? Yep. And so making sure that you're attributing good business results, we are people in profit, we got to make sure that we're getting good business results back to these events, I think is going to be really important.
Can you imagine trying to measure the investment on making sure that your teammates can have conflict resolution because they've had a beer together, or because they broke bread together, or because they've cooked a dinner together, or been blindfolded and been yelled at in public together? And I mean that in a funny way. What's the value that you put on that, as well as when you have an experience and you bring a +1 and they become a client? both of those have a value to it, and you got to make sure you're measuring both sides.
Yeah. Best events we ever did back in the Defender days, we would take 500 of our employees and a guest to Cancun for 4 days of an all-inclusive. And many of these people had never been out of the country before. We can talk off air about some of the experiences around that.
I think we have
talk
four.
on air.
In all fairness, I think there's 4 of us in this room that we should have that conversation in Cancun for 4 days.
I think we should, and we should determine, the pros and the cons of a trip.
We'll
like
pack the mics. We will do. Can we do a podcast there, Chris? Can you make sure we can do the podcast there? We'll get you a shirt to match.
I'm not wearing a shirt like that in Cancun. It'd be too hot.
Okay, well we'll
Cut the sleeves off.
We'll cut the sleeves off. I like it.
Cut the sleeves off.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, good. Well, I think as we're getting to the end of the year and starting next year, we can talk more on a future episode too around how to prepare for the beginning of the year.
Oh, 100%.
And wind down the year, because I think now's the time to set new big goals, and the best way to roll those goals out are through some sort of event, getting everybody charged up, everybody on the same page. It's not just a rah-rah thing, but it's really about getting people to commit and say, what am I going to be able to do for this organization over the next 12 months for all of us to rally around our goals? And I think events are one of the best places to do it.
Absolutely.